simple tricks on how to increase your Instagram following.
I think this is probably actually the easiest way, and it is speak to one person. I think a lot of times when we are creating content, we try to create content for the masses. We want it to reach out to everyone. But the idea of this is to connect deeply, right? So that other people want to then share our content. And so for me, one of the hacks that I do for my clients is I always ask them who their best friend is, right? And I tell them to describe to me their best friend, everything that they can about that person. And then I make sure that when we are creating content, that we are creating content from a voice that is speaking to their best friend. This way, when they actually post something, it comes off as super genuine, right? Very intentional and very conversational. It makes creating content so much easier, but it also makes connecting with other people seamless because everybody wants to feel like they are your friend. So you should be speaking to one person, that person should be your friend, and you should be solving one problem at a time.
It's a very easy one for everyone to just forget, and because you see the number of followers, and when simple examples, when somebody gets on their story and they're like, "Hey guys," like, no, don't say "Hey guys." First of all, just in general, don't introduce like that. But I mean, speak to one person, talk to them like your best friend is watching. Yeah, great tip.
And also that one topic that you're focusing on, I think that's really key because sometimes we try to cram in as much knowledge as we can and much value in one piece of content, and we lose them by the time they get to the second or third because it's like by the time they get to the 10th, it's like, could they even remember the first two that you even presented to them?
Second tip, I would say it's kind of getting into the same lane as what Ken said, is get stupid clear on your Instagram bio and just like really nail down how direct and clear that is. And there's a pattern, Meg, you do this really well on your Instagram bio, which is speak to the aspiration of your follower, back it up with some hard numbers, and then jump into a CTA. So with Megan, it's grow your Instagram and your income. That's line one. 10,000 plus students, millions of views, and endless growth. So she's backing up with hard numbers. And then free Instagram checklist pointing down at the URL. So I think that's, once people actually land on your account, they need to know, why exactly am I following you? Do you care about my aspirations? What proof do you have? Where do I go next? If you get that really clear, you make it much easier for someone to hit follow.
Great point. I like that. So you're kind of touching down on the whole aspect of optimizing your account as well as your messaging. The person would discover when they land on your page, correct?
Yeah, absolutely. It's, obviously we can talk about having keywords in there and stuff, so it's searchable, but this is more so, could your follower or your potential follower be half brain dead, show up on your profile and still understand why they should follow you and that you're the person to follow?
Gotcha. Well, how about you, Megan? What's your last one that you want to share with the audience?
One that probably is overlooked and forgotten about, but cross promotion through your other platforms. So if you have a newsletter that you send out, always directing people to a specific post that you're going to expand on a certain idea that you're talking about in your newsletter, or you can do that vice versa. Or, if you have another social media platform, maybe you're going more in depth on something on your Instagram, but you do a little teaser of like just starting to educate or share about it on that other platform, bringing them over, or repurposing, from one short to a Pinterest pin, like somehow getting people back to your page from other platforms, or even just speaking with people in person. I mean, word of mouth, right? Being able to connect and, oh, well, if you like that tip that I just shared with you, you just, maybe you're helping someone randomly that you run into, hey, follow my page here. I have these tips all the time. Being able to get them over and just telling people about it is huge. And we forget, like, actually communicating to bring people over is also still very, very effective. We're not needing to rely on the algorithm every time.
I think we forget so much about the power of word of mouth. Some of the movies that we talk about with friends or in passing, and some of the music and albums that we're listening to, we share with friends. And there's so many other ways that we can utilize that digital word of mouth online that it can be very effective for us. My last one is somewhat similar to what Megan just shared. Mind you guys, even if some of these sound similar, we didn't share these with each other. So they might come as a surprise. We like to kind of keep it, surprising and fresh for all of us. Mine is kind of similar to Megan, but I'm going to specify specifically QR codes. People forget every single profile on Instagram has a QR code, and you could utilize it off of Instagram. I'll touch more on the physical world, like outside of social media, where you can utilize these QR codes on business cards, put it on a slideshow or a presentation where you're delivering a speech, and put it on the actual PowerPoint or the slide. And when people are watching you present, they could quickly just scan the code and it goes directly to your Instagram page where they could easily just hit the follow button. It's such a very unique, but it's not a tactic that I see a lot of people use because I think they just forget about it. I mean, you can even put a QR code. I've done it last week and I'm going to do it for this next YouTube video where I put the QR code of our guest on the YouTube video. So when people watch it on TV, on their computer or tablet, they could just put up their phone next to it and it immediately brings them to Instagram on that person's page. Even the QR code, if you want to quickly know where to find that, that's on your profile. You'll see a button that says share profile. You click that and you'll find your QR code and you could download it to your phone. It's been a game changer for me as I started using it more outside of my phone. But it's an incredible and unique way that I think a lot of people have forgotten about. But QR codes, I think, is so useful, so resourceful. Imagine even putting a QR code on your t-shirt and somebody just comes by and scan it at an event. It's something that people end up talking about because it's so fun. You know, you had something to say there, Kent.
Yeah, being that we're both from Jersey, you'll be able to appreciate this, right? One of the things that I've done for clients when it comes to QR codes is we leave them at the toll booth. So when you go to actually pay your toll and you have to pay money, we slap that. We put all our QR codes in stickers. This way they can be left in places. We printed them out
I
and we
love
put them
that.
as QR codes directly on the toll booth. This way, when you're driving by, you're going to have your phone in the car. You're going to have to stop to wait to get your change. And while you're doing that, you'll see the QR code with a message that will lead you directly to our page or wherever it is that we want you to go. So I had to throw that in there as a Jersey thing.
I love that idea. Now you got me thinking I should go print out a bunch of QR code stickers and post them all over the place. I never even thought of it, but that's thinking outside of the box. I was actually thinking of doing the old school way. I don't know if you guys ever done this before, but usually when you have a new business, you go to like a place like Best Buy and you go on all of the computers and you put in your website, you leave it there for somebody else to find. I was thinking of doing something like that with the QR code. I love that idea with the sticker. That's an awesome idea. And there we go, guys. We had shared simple tricks, including QR code stickers that just thinking outside of the box is incredible for you guys to go ahead and utilize right now. You guys can use some of these right now. So go ahead and take the information that we have shared. But those are some great tips that we were all able to share that you guys can help break past that slump. Because we know everybody's going through a growth slump pretty much right now. But there are ways to think outside the box and start making that chart that's been going down on your followers, make it look like it's going the other way and increasing so you guys can start stepping your gram up in new and unique ways.
All right, so this is a simple game that we like to play here on the Social Roundtable called One's Got to Go. Would you get rid of voice notes in the DMs, the ability to send photos in the DMs, or the ability to send links in the DM? One's got to go.